Level 0. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. Level 0 is a non-linear space resembling the backrooms of a retail outlet. Similar to its previous form, all rooms in Level 0 appear uniform and share superficial features such as a yellowish wallpaper, damp carpets, and inconsistently placed fluorescent lighting. However, no two rooms within the level are identical. The installed lighting flickers inconsistently and hums at a constant frequency. This buzzing is notably louder and more obtrusive than ordinary fluorescent humming, and examination of the fixtures to determine the source has been inconclusive. The substance saturating the carpet cannot be consistently identified. It is not mortar, nor is it safe to consume. Linear spaces in Level 0 are altered drastically. It is possible to walk in a straight line and return to the starting point, and retracing your steps will result in a different set of rooms appearing than the ones already passed through. Due to this, and the visual similarity between rooms, consistent navigation is extremely difficult. Devices such as compasses and GPS locators fail to function within the level, and radio communications are distorted and unreliable. Level 0 is entirely still and completely devoid of life. Despite the fact that it is the primary entrance to the backrooms, contact with other wanderers within the level has never been reported. Presumably, a great number of people have died before exiting. The most likely causes being dehydration, starvation, and psychological trauma due to sensory deprivation and isolation. However, no corpses have been reported from these hypothetical deaths. Attempting to enter Level 0 in a group will result in the separation of the group until the level is exited. Rooms with red wallpaper and dim lighting appear very rarely. These should not be approached or entered. Hallucinations are common in Level 0, the most common being humming from the lighting increasing to a deafening volume, then abruptly silencing. The appearance of doors. The appearance of stairs. Acute déjà vu. Human-like speech resembling no known language. Movement in peripheral vision resembling insects crawling underneath the wallpaper, which disappears once the wall is observed directly. Insect-like chittering. According to analysis, the CO2 levels within Level 0 are rising at a steady rate. The significance of this is unknown. No entities are known to exist within the level, including other humans. If you see, hear, or encounter what you believe to be another wanderer, it is not a human. Accidental no-clipping out of the bounds of reality is the most consistent way of accessing Level 0, and by extension, the backrooms. Exiting Level 0 is only possible by no-clipping, which will always result in entry to Level 1. As newcomers to Level 0 are often unfamiliar with the mechanics of the backrooms, it is necessary to keep your bearings and adapt quickly to the environment in order to exit. Entrance to the Manila Room is very rare but possible by walking an almighty distance in any direction. Unlike Level 0, wanderers can meet freely in the Manila Room, but the room is a dead end. Rather, it functions as a rendezvous room for wanderers who survived the trek. Additionally, documentation from the MEG can be found in the Manila Room, assisting newcomers in survival and escape. Instructions on how to no-clip can be found in Level 0.1 is an enormous megastructure found embedded in Level 0. Although it's large enough to be considered a sub-level, Level 0.1 is believed to be contained entirely within the bounds of its parent level. One notable detail about the threshold between Level 0 and Level 0.1 is that when viewed from the sub-level, Level 0 appears to be a series of nearly identical floors stacked vertically on top of each other, but attempting to breach the ceiling or floor of Level 0 from elsewhere in the level does not lead to other parts of the same level. Level 0.1 is made primarily out of metal and glass and features several different rooms and chambers which are built using a smooth, almost futuristic style of architecture, though the majority of the structure shows extreme signs of damage, with exposed wires and broken electronics found in many parts of the sub-level. Although the sub-level is far from being completely mapped, an enormous hollowed-out section in what is believed to be the center makes it possible to get a good idea of the general shape and structure of the level as a whole. It is believed that the sub-level takes the shape of an extremely large, spherical shell that surrounds the aforementioned cavity. The shell itself is extremely thick, generally having the width of dozens of city blocks. Within the shell is a large variety of brightly lit rooms, with bedrooms, kitchens, gyms, and even some hydroponic greenhouses in various states of disrepair. Many of the rooms in the level are connected with automatic sliding doors, some of which are perfectly functional despite the decay around them. There are also many automatons of various designs roaming the sub-level. The few that are working perform automated tasks such as cleaning and cooking. Aspects such as temperature and lighting vary wildly throughout the sub-level, depending on how damaged any given section is. Much of the level is relatively well lit, with temperatures staying steadily around room temperature. More damaged portions of level 0.1, however, can often be left in almost complete darkness, and some sections display extreme cold or heat to the point of unsurvivability. This is believed to be because of a malfunction in some sort of internal temperature control system. Level 0.1 retains the same irregular qualities as Level 0, including the impossibility of coming into contact with other wanderers, the malfunctioning of navigation and communication devices, and visual/auditory hallucinations. Because of this, Level 0.1 is not considered to be a viable place to live or set up an outpost, but many of the materials found within the sub-level are extremely valuable, and it is believed that members of the BNTG make regular trips to the Level 0.1 to harvest its materials. This is not advised by the MEG, however, due to the dangers posed by Level 0 and the difficulty leaving the level. Wanderers can easily pass between Level 0 and Level 0.1 by simply walking from one section to another. Due to the vastness of Level 0, however, coming across Level 0.1 in its parent level's halls is extremely unlikely. That being said, it has been suggested that the BNTG may have access to an as of yet secret method of reliably encountering Level 0.1 due to the prevalence of material from the sub-level in their possession. Aside from simply traveling back to its parent level, Level 0.1 can also be exited by random no-clipping, usually leading to Level 1, similarly to Level 0. Level 0.2. Level 0.2 is a sub-level between Level 0 and Level 1 in the Backrooms, created by the group Backrooms Remodeling Co. Level 0.2, without touching anything within the level, appears to be a revamped or remodeled version of Level 0. The level appears at first to be improved completely, including dry red carpets, repainted white walls, consistently working Wi-Fi and outlets, and the occasional bathroom. Unlike most levels, the origin of Level 0.2 is well known as a creation of the mysterious group of interest known as Backrooms Remodeling Co., as an attempt at remodeling Level 0. Upon entering Level 0.2, the level will begin to fall apart. Ceiling tiles may fall, walls topple over, and the floor will collapse, revealing what looks to be an unfinished house. This is dangerous to any wanderer who may enter, as the debris can collapse on top of them, and the dust afterward can be very dangerous. This stops as soon as the chain reaction of destruction reaches the door back to Level 0, and upon re-entry will be completely fixed, as if nothing occurred. It is unknown if this effect was purposefully caused by Backrooms Remodeling Co. employees or not. There are no known bases, outposts, or communities on this level. Entry to Level 0.2 is rather easy once the usual buzz of the lights in Level 0 quiet down and the carpet becomes drier and the rooms start to look like they're under construction. There's a chance of finding a door to Level 0.2. The level can be exited the same way it is entered. Finding a door will lead back to Level 0. Several documents relating to Backrooms Remodeling Co. have been recovered from Level 0.2 and are listed below. Clipboard found in Level 0.2. Document 1. Backrooms Remodeling Company. True order comes through furniture. Backrooms Remodeling Company. Document 2. Target Level 0. Sector A881. Objective Class A remodeling job. Task Force sent 102CX. Supervisor Major Took. Job notes. You better be reading this. It may be the only chance you four have at saving your jobs. Every time we send you four to lead a job, it always ends horribly, and the higher-ups are noticing the pattern and taking it out on my sorry ass. Do you all want to keep your jobs? Do good this time. We wouldn't want your leader, Captain, to get punished for all of your stupidity, now would we? Sincerely, Major Took, your boss. Document 3. Dear Major Took, hi, it's me. I know I'm probably not the person you want to be hearing right now, especially since I'm writing this instead of working. But I figured I should let you know that everything is A-okay over here. Nothing is going wrong. Well, except for a few... Yep, nothing at all. We're working our hardest to make this as perfect as possible. We're doing our jobs especially hard this time because we really don't want to let you down. Sorry for the number of exclamation marks. I got excited. How are things back at home base? I hope everything is good over there. I was thinking that maybe you could talk to the higher-ups about giving us a few more chances. We've really been working hard, and I can assure you most of those malfunctions were entirely not our fault. I should probably... The rest of the page has been ripped off. Below 0. You've arrived at a new frontier. The blaring lights blind and deafen you in a cacophony of irritating buzzing, leading you to lose your balance. Where are you? How did you get here? Both are second thoughts as the halls release you from their clutches, just as fast as they'd lured you in. You have no footing anymore. You're starting to drop. Gravity is infinitely flooring you, sucking you down into an abyss devoid of light. You're relieved by the absence of the annoying hum buzz. yet you're eternally fearful of what awaits you momentarily at the bottom. A kaleidoscope of memories bursts like glass in your head, stringing up a symphony of hankerings and regrets in your mind. This suspended angst is eventually brought to a close. To your great chagrin, you're somehow alive. Access. Below Zero's only means of entry is via pitfalls, gaping holes that appear intermittently throughout Level Zero's incalculable square miles of carpet. They appear clean-cut and purposeful. The ground cuts downward at a sudden 90-degree angle. Oftentimes, pitfalls will appear haphazardly and inexplicably. For example, they will ordinarily appear in front of a wanderer, while their eyes escape their foreview. More often than not, simply beholding a pitfall will lead to your arbitrary descent into it. After being subjected to several hours of uninterrupted plummeting, no matter the speed or force, one will be safely delivered into a deep, chilly quagmire of water, which promptly brings one to their senses. As expected, any given pitfall's pool will slowly shallow, allowing one to travel in the only direction possible, towards the tunnels. Description: Anodyne Complex. The Anodyne Complex acts as an entry point to Below Zero, coming across most similarly to the bulk of conventional levels of the Backrooms, notably more so than almost all other environments within the pitfalls. The region takes the physical form of a complex of tenebrous concrete hallways, all illimitably interconnected in a labyrinth-like pattern that is notoriously simple to traverse. By treading the halls for an indeterminate amount of time, one is bound to encounter either an exit or a change in scenery. In stark contrast to Level Zero's droning fluorescent bulbs, the Anodyne Complex projects a soothing, low-pitched hum that has been observed to placate wanderers and allow for more rational thinking. That being said, these bulbs have been reported to, albeit rarely, burst, causing glass shards to sprinkle the floors as a screeching pop reverberates through the halls. The Bog. The bog's overcrowded ocean bed contains a myriad of species populating its many facets. The damp dirt cover of the bog gives way to numerous insects amongst the fret of creatures that inhabit it, allowing them to glide peacefully along the surface of the water or hang delightfully atop their perches. Underwater lies a variety of complex plant life, all intertwined into a trichiliocosm of vines and grass. Prickly vines extend their reach comprehensively from the mile-deep ocean bottom, encroaching up to greet wanderers as they take a dip in the muddied waters. The only source of light that beckons is a scarce few shrooms, as well as a stable population of ink blots, scattered around the muddle, feasting upon the several species of bugs and minuscule aquatic life bestrewn about the waters. The bog may only be accessed by means of the rusted steel hatches dotted throughout the Anodyne Complex, at the risk of one's own survival. The bog is unsafe for human life without the use of heavy diving gear and other equipment. The bog's tight air pockets allow the acquisition of minimal oxygen during one's endeavors amidst it, lining the soil ceiling that lies just 10 inches above the water's surface. The liquid itself is murky at best and putrid at worst, accommodating a variety of bacteria and algae, to the great repose of all nippers and other amphibians that inhabit it. The only ways out are either being sucked into the overburst aquarium in the depths, or returning shamefully to the halls from which you originated, regurgitated safely to find your way to the only other exit. The Unfixed Passages. If you traipse around for long enough within the confines of the Anodyne Complex, you may be engrossed by Lilliputian assortments of rubble and beaten down walls, welcoming you to a more open passage. Within its space, the unfixed passages hold dust and debris galore. Obliterated concrete stares you down while you walk by. Lights hang haphazardly from the ceiling as they flicker inconsistently, their previous delightful buzz now morphed into an ear-wrenching, sapping pattern. Roots stick out from the dirt, crowding the outskirts of blown-apart walls and entangling in grimacing springs as passers-by ignore their warnings. The halls get tighter and tighter as one treks on, suffocating wanderers and entrapping them until the point of no return has been breached. From this point on, they will be left in the hands of the crooked caverns. We must crawl independently through the trying tunnel, for God has gifted us with privilege of company. Trek onwards, for eventually you will reach the light at the end of the tunnel. We are here and we are waiting. We understand your struggles and wish to make them our own for your sake. Stay safe until then, friend. Fitch Galswell, Executive Member of the Fallers. Echo Chamber. A trial of the will of mind needs no basis of hardship. You've fallen into a pit. Limbo, a silent hell. You find yourself in the confines of oblivion and fragments of light that guide the endless way into the deepest nests of unreality. Here starts your real fall, your pilgrimage to a beyond, forbidden by the concepts of mind, heart, and existence. This path of echoes will brand you with uncertainty. To trust or not to trust its songs is solely for you to choose. To stay on this path is to relinquish all thoughts and join their peaceful rest, becoming one of the infinitely many voices that shall turn songs into echoes for all others to hear. To push on is to relinquish all past and continue the pilgrim's way. To accept the relinquishment of the past is to see the end of this path. A few members of the Fallers have kindly offered their experiences in the path of echoes. This serves no purpose other than understanding oneself after their journey through it. I fell a boy, now risen a man, steeled through waves of desperate songs, experienced great regret at the first moment, despair ringing weary ears, persistence through punishment and realization of self-state, learned as deeper fell to the pits ever swirling. Heard echoes of lost voices, and no reason to listen to their murmurs ever straying, ever resting. The lone path to not trust in rest, but in acceptance. Erased remnant of the past mind, now only to fall, over and over and over and over. Everett of the Fallers. Remind yourself that no longer shall you live the same way as you once did. Let memories plague you no longer, for there is no return in this below and beyond. Only then would you realize the end of this path, and once you do, you will see yourself hearing the perpetual echoes no longer. Rohan of the Fallers. If will is inevitably devoured by lack of courage, the only chance is to brave voices by force and push through. Though not brave, to push the limit is to believe in a fragment of oneself, no matter minuscule. I am such an example, marked in my past life. I learned not the concept of courage at a young age, but I forced my will and body to live, to survive, to fall deeper. Hwell of the Fallers. Understanding the echoes is another way of enlightenment to reveal the end of the path. Only a few such as I have listened patiently to their songs. The only consequence of such a method is to lose yourself along its melody. Learn yourself and stand your ground in the sensitive mind and soul. Tish of the Fallers. Thus the principles of escape in the path of echoes: accepting, reasoning, forcing, understanding. This path will lead you deeper to places of no return and into salvation as bleak as the darkest night. Trust only yourself as you follow the beacons to eternal damnation. Listen only to your voice amidst unrelenting, lost echoes. Farewell, and may we meet again. Hermit Sano of the Fallers. Hear their voices that echo still. The Manila Room. The Manila Room is a small room that can rarely be found in level 0 and often acts as a save point where wanderers meet when traveling through the level. Description: the Manila Room is an isolated square room with thick walls within level 0, named for the unique beige color of its wallpaper. It has minimal furnishings which vary slightly between appearances, usually no more than a table and chair, as well as anywhere from 1 to 4 entrances. The Manila Room is commonly used as a meeting point for wanderers, as despite the changing and isolating nature of level 0, the Manila Room will always appear in the same location for everyone when discovered, and does not have the same effect as level 0, which prevents wanderers from meeting. This leads to wanderers appearing to fade into existence upon entering. Care should be taken to avoid entering from the same entrance at the same time. Anomalies. The lighting in the Manila Room is nearly identical to that of level 0 and produces the same irritating noise. The brightness of these lights, however, varies greatly and is known to fluctuate over time, causing occasional periods of total darkness. Standard entities have never been observed in the Manila Room, however, knocking and banging noises have been reported coming from within the walls, leading some to believe one or more entities may be present within them. These noises are reportedly loudest during periods when the lights are off. Documentation. The Manila Room is used to store MEG documentation that explains the Backrooms and provides essential information to new wanderers, of which roughly 36% reported that the documentation had been essential in escaping level 0. All documentation is stored in folders stamped with the MEG insignia and placed on the table if it is present, though these documents do occasionally disappear with the normal changes to the room, requiring that they be replaced when reported missing. Documents stored here cover a variety of topics, most notably note clipping, a field guide to the most common and dangerous entities, and a guide to important levels. A sample document can be viewed below. Notable levels of the Backrooms. Document 3 out of 7. Level 0. This is the level you are currently within. A unique property of this level is its isolating effect that prevents any two wanderers from seeing or interacting with each other, even when standing in what should be the same location, as well as its shifting, non-Euclidean nature. No clipping, as described earlier, is the only safe, documented way to exit this level. Level 1. Reaching this level should be your next goal. Our primary base, which is one of the safest locations for you, is located here. Level 1 takes the appearance of an infinite warehouse, stocked with crates full of supplies. Level 2. Level 2 is more dangerous than the previous 2 levels and has much tighter spaces to traverse. It takes the form of a labyrinth of maintenance tunnels and piping, often maintaining an uncomfortably hot temperature. The safest place on level 2 is a settlement known as Office Space EL3A. Level 3. This level is exceptionally dangerous, often the most perilous level one encounters before settling down in a community somewhere safer. Level 3 takes the form of an electrical station with many machines and barred-off areas. Its halls often have no working lights and many entities lurk within them. It is heavily contested for its valuable resources and location close to safer levels such as level 4. Many of the faction contesting it are hostile to the MEG and to you. Level 4. Level 4 is one of the safest and most inhabited levels of the Backrooms, having the form of an endless abandoned office. It has a plentiful supply of almond water and relatively few hostile entities. It is a popular place for people to rest and take refuge, or settle down and live permanently in. Level Fun. Level Fun, despite its name, is one of the most dangerous levels encountered by the MEG. It is the home level of the partygoers, and takes the form of an endless complex of rooms full of party decorations. The entities inhabiting the level discussed previously are incredibly dangerous and are known to vandalize the database, to fool wanderers into approaching them. Entrances to this level are often surrounded by confetti and party favors, and can thus be identified and avoided. The End. This level is often described as a trap. It initially appears as an empty library with computer terminals and a sign in large letters that states, "The end is near." This level creates fake realities intended to trick you into believing you have left the backrooms, which only keeps you still and makes it easier for the entities that wander the level, namely partygoers, to find you. The exits to this level are undocumented. If you choose to leave the main area, keep moving and search for an exit. Red Rooms. The Red Rooms bear great similarity to their parent level, although some key differences set them apart. The area is shrouded in a deep red hue, from the crimson wallpaper to the dark room-like lighting. The carpet is coarse and sticky, contrasting with the slick moist carpets of level 0, and harboring colonies of mushrooms and black mold in dark corners. Radio communication in the area is as unreliable as in level 0, and the longer a subject stays within, the poorer the quality of communication will become before halting entirely. The MEG have documented 3 instances of field agents falling victim to the Red Rooms, none of whom were seen again after their radio communications deteriorated. This evidence suggests the rooms are extremely difficult or impossible to escape. During these short-lived MEG communications, the area has been described as viscerally uncomfortable and generally distressing to exist inside of. Affected individuals report feelings of disgust, despair, and paranoia, as well as feelings of claustrophobia. These strong emotions compound the stress which often comes with the sudden break from level 0's monotony. These rooms are not to be approached or entered. If spotted, turn the other way and do not attempt to enter them under any circumstances. No bases, communities, or outposts are known to exist within the Red Rooms. Entrances. The Red Rooms may only be entered through level 0, completely at random after turning a corner. No method of ascertaining where in the level they will appear has yet been found. Exits. After one has entered the Red Rooms, there is presumably no chance of exit. The Torment. The Torment is an incomprehensible anomaly inside the Backrooms. While rumored to exist, it cannot be entered conventionally, if at all. The Backrooms are a prison, but what lies beyond this plane of reality is unknown, infinite, and unpredictable. Even if one could possibly escape the Backrooms, the journey beyond, as of yet, remains undocumented and undefined. Humans fear the unknown and thus create theories in a futile attempt to explain it. They couldn't be further from the truth. Perhaps ignorance truly is bliss, because once the truth is known, it will not be forgotten. It will haunt them. This revelation is the basis of the Torment, a new world that, according to 5 witnesses, appeared in level 0 without forewarning for several hours before vanishing. Witnesses described the area as grayscale in color, with a strange feeling of dread enveloping anyone daring to approach it. The anomaly consists of multiple graves arranged in perfect circles, all surrounding a deteriorated stone statue of an unknown hooded man in the center. Dead trees approximately 7 feet tall can be seen next to random graves, similarly arranged in a circle. Decomposing leaves from these trees litter the ground and produce a piercing scream when stepped on. Darkness engulfs the entire area. A lone stationary moon in the sky serves as this place's only light source. Thick gray fog surrounds the environment, restricting visibility to 5 feet and causing wanderers to shiver. Each gravestone's inscription contains a name identifying the dead human, a short sentence describing the cause of death, and 2 dates, presumed to be the date of birth and the date of death. Despite the MEG's best efforts to identify the names, none of them have been linked to any known wanderers. During the first and only encounter with the Torment, in a restocking expedition, the fog's grey color started bleeding into Level 0's yellow wallpaper, which gradually lost its saturation as the anomaly spread. Any objects, entities, or humans coming in contact with the anomalous surface quickly turned a grey color before dissolving into ash. Previously, it was thought that the wanderers who suffered this fate died. This was only partially correct. The MEG, through extensive research and attempts to contact the lone survivor of the Torment, have concluded that although the physical body no longer exists, the soul still wanders freely. Unfortunately, attempts to communicate with these souls have failed. However, researchers have created an EVP device capable of collecting and interpreting signals emitted by the souls. According to the MEG's researchers, these lost souls have nowhere to go. They are destined to wander the Torment and its endless arrays of graves, forced to relive their worst memories, which range from heartbreak to near-death experiences. Witnesses have heard screaming, crying, and muffled whispering from souls begging for their torture to end. However, these messages appear to loop. Each iteration repeats the same messages with the same tone of delivery. There is currently no procedure to bring these souls back to their physical bodies. According to the MEG, these souls constantly beg for mercy, all complaining of some benevolent being invading their minds. Despite their tormented state, these souls are still capable of rational thought. However, being hollow shells of their past human selves, no soul has successfully remembered its own identity or appearance before death. How these souls continue to exist remains a mystery. Entrances and exits. Entrances. There is no confirmed method of entry, although wanderers in Level 0 were able to interact with the level's exterior for a brief period of time. Any proposed way of entering the Torment now is mere speculation. Exits. None. Supplementary documents. Addendum 1. Note: after extensive listening, the EVP has gathered these 3 looped audio codes from the souls. The MEG has separated the codes into sentences and ordered them by volume, loudest to softest. Never take me alive. Over my dead body. Why won't this suffering end? Am I still human? You deserve this. How can I continue in this state? Otherworldly beings have consumed me. Must avoid the darkness. Eternal torment will haunt us. Addendum 2. Restricted access. Input credentials. Access denied. There is no truth. There is only pain. There is only suffering